Alright, so the game tonight. It's not over yet as I'm filming this. But I assume the game is probably going to end in a Brewers loss. They blew the crucial play, obviously. They blew the fly ball into shallow left field. Should have been Braun's ball. I don't know what Braun was doing, but it kind of summed up, how things are going for the Brewers right now. They're just like, the Brewers are just they're so stale and boring to watch, and I feel like the players are like apathetic at this point. Like they just don't seem to care. And it's like, man, this team is just so inconsistent, just so wildly inconsistent. It's amazing how this team could go from scoring like 15 runs and then like 9 runs the next day and then get almost no hit the very next day with almost the exact same lineup against a pitcher that they had like kicked the shit out of earlier in the year. And then today, the offense is completely silent until the 6th inning. They finally get a lead, and just like almost every single other time that they do that, the bullpen immediately gives it up. Like, I understand Jeffers got a little bit unlucky in loading the bases, the hit by pitch, the infield single by Molina, but like, I don't know. I don't trust anybody in this bullpen. I mean, not even Josh Hader, with how he's been lately. And when Matt Albers is the most trustworthy pitcher in the bullpen, there's something wrong. And, the more and more it's just like, I feel like every single day I just lose more and more hope. And, I could be very wrong about all of this. I could, and the Brewers could go on and get on a super big hot streak and take the division. There's still a whole month left to play, a month and a half, or almost a month and a half left to play. But like, it's to a point where it's like, it's just not fun to watch. Like last year's team, when they had slumps, it was because, just get the offense going, the pitching's going to hold up, or, the pitching had a rough few games, they'll get it back together. The Brewers don't have that anymore. They don't have good pitching. They don't have that elite bullpen to rely on. They don't, their offense was occasionally inconsistent last year, but like, it was like, they were always able to put together like another good game. They were always able to bounce back from it. The Brewers, it's just like whenever they bounce back, they just go right back into the rut the next game. You feel like, this is the bounce back game for the Brewers, right? They just go right back to what they were doing before that. Every single time. They just never can put together a string of games that you feel good about. Even when they win, even on their recent 5-game winning streak, you just didn't feel good about some of those games that they won. Like the Thames walk-off, obviously an awesome moment, maybe one of the best moments of the year, got really excited, whatever. They blew a big lead in that game. Like the Thames walk-off prevented them from losing that game, a game that they should have just been able to lock up at the end. They shouldn't have even had to go to the bottom of the 9th or anything. It's just things like that. It was exciting, yeah, but it just like left you thinking in the back of your mind, I mean, you could have won the game before that. You should have been able to win the game before that. Like, it's just, they don't have the bullpen anymore. Like, I don't trust a single soul in the bullpen. Maybe Matt Albers, and I'm sure Josh Hader will get it back together soon. But other than that, there's just nobody. Like, Jeremy Jeffress, not good this year. Junior Guerra, painfully average. Alex Claudio only goes against lefties. He's been decent against lefties, I'll give him that. But against righties, he's abysmal. Who else in the bullpen? Devin Williams just got called up, I don't really have an opinion on him. I don't really have an opinion on some of the guys we call up, like Wilkerson. It's just, there's just so many guys in this bullpen. They're just like average or below average. And then you have Hader, who was elite for most of the year, has fallen off a little bit as of late. I still expect him to be elite for the most part throughout his career. He'll get it back together. It's just he's missing his spots a little bit. He'll get it back together. But then Matt Albers, who's been a pretty solid pitcher this year. Not outstanding, not great, solid. And that's about the best I can say for any one pitcher in this entire bullpen, is solid right now. There's just no Like, okay, I'm going to turn this air off. There's just no, like, there's no pitching. The offense is just so wildly inconsistent. It's so strange because, like, you look at the lineup this year, it's like, this offense this year should be better than last year's. But so many guys underperformed this year. So many guys just, like, turned into completely different players, you know? Like, we'll go back to the bullpen. Like, Jeremy Jeffress, a lockdown pitcher last year, one of the anchors of this bullpen. And then you lose Corey Knebel before the season starts, you know? And then Jesus Aguilar, a really awesome hitter last year. Dude falls off a cliff. I expected some regression from that guy. He fell off a cliff. He's doing a little bit better in Tampa Bay right now, but we traded that guy, a guy who made the All-Star team, a guy who was in MVP talks last year. We traded him this year. He was terrible. And then you've got Kane, who has been painfully average this year on offense. You know, that was a 300 hitter last year. A guy who got on base that got a 380 clip. Like, and he just completely fell off the face of the earth offensively. And it's just like, you know, you think by keeping Moustakas, you know, and Moustakas has had a really good year this year. So was Grandal. You upgrade catcher Grandal. You feel like this lineup is so set in stone, but that just shows you how unpredictable the sport of baseball can be. And truth be told, guys, it's time for football season. It's time for football season. And, you know, right now the Brewers are kind of something that I keep myself occupied while I wait for football right now. And I've always been more of a football guy than anything. I love my baseball, I love my basketball, but football has always been number one on my heart. So the Packers starting will definitely take a little bit of the pain away from this. But, you know, it hurts, you know. I mean, as much as I say I'm just totally out of it, you know, it's like, oh, whatever, just get football here already. It does hurt. I mean, this was a team that I picked to go to the World Series this year, and they can barely even stay over 500. The freaking Mets have passed us in the wild card race. That's how... I mean, if that's an example, though, of just how quickly things can turn in baseball, though. That is a very good example of how quickly things can turn in baseball. Like, the Mets, sucky for the majority of the year. They go on a massive hot streak, and now they're in the wild card, you know? So it's like, never know. And, hey, maybe I'll look back on this video and laugh, and I'll say, yeah, I remember when the Brewers were average. I mean, they could very well put it all together for 1 month. And it's totally not out of the question. They could put it together all for 1 month and come away with, you know, winning the division maybe, getting to the wild card. You never know. So, yeah, that's all I really have to say in the video, though. I just wanted to share my thoughts on what happened, you know, with the Brewers tonight. And honestly, it feels kind of like the big gut punch, you know, the one that just knocks the wind out of you. Like, we've taken a lot of shots, but that was like the gut punch. Like, you should have been able to keep that lead. You should have been able to get out of that jam, and just the craziest, stupidest things happen. And, you know, here we are again, trailing. I'm about to go inside, and I'm gonna look at the score. Maybe the Brewers will be winning. Who knows? But, yeah. I'll see you guys later. That's all I really have to say. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, @OberSports41512, and on Instagram, username Jacob_Ober. And do not forget to use promo code SeatGeek, or promo code Obersports on SeatGeek to get $20 off of your next purchase. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next time, and go Crew.